Today's fairy tale is a lesser-known story by Hans Christian Andersen, the author of The Little Mermaid, and it's really interesting because it's a little problematic because of some racial representation, but it could actually be read sort of as a story for real art versus AI today. At least that's what I think. It's called The Nightingale, and though Hans Christian Andersen was Danish, it's set in China with some interesting descriptions. The first line is, "The Emperor of China is a Chinaman, as you most likely know, and everyone around him is a Chinaman too." Andersen first tells us how beautiful this palace is. The entire thing is made of porcelain and everything's delicate, and there's a beautiful forest behind it that leads to the shore. And in that forest is this nightingale. It sings such a beautiful, hypnotizing song that the men who work on the shore have to stop their work and listen to it. Travelers from all around the world come and are amazed by this nightingale. And then they go home and they write books, and in this one book someone talks about this amazing nightingale, and the Chinese emperor finds out about it by reading that book. He calls his lord-in-waiting to him and he's like, "This book says that the most amazing nightingale in the world is in my forest. Why have I never heard of it?" And the lord-in-waiting is like, "I didn't know about it either." You'll see apparently a lot of the royal people never go outside. Lord-in-waiting's like, "It's probably fiction. People make up stuff in books all the time." But the emperor's like, "No, I want you to find it. And if you don't find that nightingale and present it to me this evening, I will punch you in the stomach after supper, and then I will punch everyone else in court in the stomach after supper." The lord-in-waiting runs into the forest, and it says half of the court goes with him because none of them wanted to be punched in the stomach after supper. They all rush to this kitchen girl that they have heard knows where to find the nightingale. And so the lord-in-waiting talks to her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I know the nightingale. Every night after my work in the kitchen, I'm allowed to take my scraps down to the shore where my poor sick mother lives, and the nightingale soothes me, brings tears to my eyes as if my mother is kissing me." But the prime minister and the courtiers do not care. They're like, okay, well, take it to us and then we'll make you head scullion for life. You can even watch the emperor eat. And she's like, okay. So she takes them through the forest. Again, none of these people must go outside much because a cow moos and they're like, "That must be it." She's like, "No, that's a cow." A frog croaks and they're like, "Glorious, it does sound like church bells ringing." And she's like, "No, guys, that's frogs." Finally leads them to the nightingale. The nightingale sings and everyone's like, "Oh my God, it is as amazing as everyone thought." So then the lord-in-waiting is like, "Nightingale, you have to come sing for the emperor." And the nightingale says, "Well, my song sounds better in the forest, but okay." So he goes with them. Everyone assembles and listens to it sing, and it's so beautiful, tears fall down the emperor's cheeks. Says that women start to gurgle water in their mouths when they talk so they can imitate the nightingale sounds. He stays at the palace in a golden cage, which he's apparently cool with. He's allowed to go out twice a day. One day the emperor of China gets this package from Japan, and it's a mechanical bird made of rubies and sapphires that sings too. And it's still in praise of the nightingale. It even says the emperor of Japan's nightingale is nothing compared to yours. But the emperor and the court all love it and think it's even better because it plays exactly what they planned for it to play. Well, the nightingale's not having any of this. He's like, "I'm done with this captivity. You've got your new toy," and he leaves. But the emperor and the courtiers don't care. They do a public concert with the pretend mechanical nightingale, and everyone loves it. It says they react to it as if they'd gotten tipsy on tea, Chinese fashion. So now people start to like the fake thing more than the real thing. The men who work on the shore hear the real nightingale and they're like, it's not as good as the fake one. So the real nightingale is now disgraced and everyone's obsessed with the bird, which the emperor keeps by his bed. But one night, the mechanical bird breaks. The emperor freaks out, calls a watchmaker who says, "You've been playing this bird too much. You need to give it a break. You can only play it once a year," which freaks the emperor out. 5 years pass with him only getting to hear the bird once a year, and the emperor starts to get sick. So sick, he is literally on death's door. Eventually, he is cold, stiff, and motionless, and the lord-in-waiting tells everyone the emperor's dead because he thinks he's dead, but he's actually not dead. He's paralyzed there in the moonlight next to his mechanical bird. The emperor opens his eyes and sees Death is sitting on his chest, wearing all of his emperor's clothing. He cries to his mechanical bird, "Sing, mechanical bird, sing!" But the bird's a machine, and without anyone turning it, it can't sing. But then suddenly the real nightingale shows up at the window and starts singing, and it's so beautiful that even Death is transfixed, and the emperor starts to get healthier and healthier, and Death cannot stop listening to the nightingale. The nightingale stops, and Death is like, "No, keep singing," and the nightingale says, "Only if you give all that stuff back to the emperor, let him live and go away." So Death agrees. The nightingale sings again, he puts everything back, and he goes away. The emperor wakes up and says, "Oh, nightingale, how can I repay you?" And the nightingale says, "You already did when tears came to your eyes when you first heard me sing." The emperor says, "Stay with me always. I'm going to smash the artificial bird into pieces." But the nightingale's like, "No, it did its job." And I can't stay and live here at the palace with you again. You have to let me come and go as I please. And if you let me have that freedom, I will come and give you the most beautiful music. The emperor agrees, and when the servants rush in and find him alive, he says, "Good morning." I really like reading this like AI because the mechanical bird isn't bad, it's just not real. Putting it above real art and the real thing is not a good idea. Trying to control it or trying to control real art and real people are the problem. You have to let them be free and let things come naturally. At least that's one way to look at it. As always, check out my book, my work of art, Dust Bells, a reimagining of the 12 Dancing Princesses, and my podcast. All the links are in the bio.